Top of the morning, guys. Got to the beach. This is my review of Breathless video. All right, guys, so let me start off with, this is an all-inclusive resort. All you can eat, all you can drink, and I know with Breathless, the room service is 24/7. You can order basically anything at any time. Technically, don't have to pay for anything else because you've already paid for it. That's definitely a big plus in my eyes, is it being all-inclusive, so it's not like you're having to be necessarily nickeled and dimed to death for drinks. And a lot of times when you come to resorts aren't all-inclusive, they're probably gonna tax you a little bit on those drinks. And so you're probably paying, you know, maybe $5, $10 a drink or more. That's gonna add up quite quickly if you're having 10 drinks a day. You know, it could be $100 or that could be $200 a day on top of what the money that you already paid. So I do actually like that it's all inclusive. That was a good move. Biggest issue my wife had staying at Breathless was that there's no microwave in the room. Now, some of you guys might say that's not really a big deal. It's not a deal breaker. For me, it really wasn't. It's more my wife, we had room service brought to us, had some delicious coffee. My wife wanted to warm her coffee up again. She was talking to her mom, and that phone call went on for a little bit, and so there's no way for her to warm her coffee up. At that point, you're gonna have to either call room service and get another pot brought, or you're gonna have to go, you know, down to one of the cafes and get a coffee, which isn't necessarily a big deal, but it'd be nice, like, hey, I can just warm this coffee up. It's still good. I don't want to waste it. Now I'm wasting it because it's cold. Unless you're wanting to drink cold coffee later in the day, which is also fine. That was really her biggest issue. Jamaica's largest revenue source is tourism. Going anywhere in Jamaica is a little bit pricey. So let me tell you about this. You're paying 60 bucks a couple, essentially. There's 3 couples. So if you do the math, that's $180, 180 US dollars. Like, PA, well, they gotta make a living too. Yeah, I'm in agreement. But when you're only going 2.4 miles from the resort, and they're taxing you 30 US dollars a person or more to run up the street. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy. Now your driver will wait for you, so that's a positive. It's also round trip. If you wanna go far, it's 30 US dollars. If you wanna go short, it's 30 US dollars. So you can kind of take that. There's some pros and cons to that. They're gonna wait for you. You're gonna have VIP transportation. We did take a bus to do the zip lining, and I told the group it was just unorganized. And like, man, I would have been actually fine with paying for, you know, VIP taxi service, but when you book through Chuba, however you would pronounce that, it's all inclusive. So they're handling your transportation to and from, which is nice, but their transportation to and from wasn't great. I don't know if it's gone up because of the pandemic, and maybe, you know, Jamaica did have some curfews, so people maybe weren't vacationing here, and so they had the prices higher and basically recoup some of that money. And that makes perfect sense. You know, pandemic hit hard, it's hitting everyone hard, inflation's gone up, gas has gone up, they're charging more, they're not really trying to be competitive. I did talk to a bellhop, and bellhop was saying some people, they'll charge $100 US dollars a person. So advice, if you wanna go somewhere, if you are looking to save money, talk to the valet guys. They've had the red vest on, and they take you there for 80 bucks. It's only $20 a person to get in, and so you're saving, you know, $100 or so dollars. So it's just something that I wish I would have known before coming. I didn't know the transportation costs were this high here. I also didn't know that we weren't going that far. But I mean, it is what it is. You're on vacation. You're gonna want to go to so many spots. You want to have safe travel. I mean, I'm sure I could have found a cheaper service, but I also looked at it from the aspect of, okay, I'm paying them 60 bucks. If, hey, someone, let's say $20, and you, let's say, get mugs set up, however you want to classify that, and lose all your money, it would have been cheaper for me just to pay the 60 or 80 US dollars and know that I had nice transportation. So just something to think about. I mean, to me, I've never been here before, so I didn't really know. If I came back again, I definitely would just go up to the driver and say, hey, I need to go here. I know it's only 2 miles away. Look, bust my head, I'm not paying $40 a person. So something just to take in consideration. This is an all-inclusive resort. It is gonna be a little bit more pricier. It's gonna be on the pricier side. We'll say this, Breathless, from what I could gather, was for a younger crowd. Parties at Breathless were definitely better. I did overhear someone say that. I agreed with them. That's just from what I've seen. Maybe that changes month by month. Maybe that changes with the seasons. I don't know, but for my stay, that's something that I realized, that Breathless side was definitely a younger crowd on average. I'd probably say on average, people over here probably in their 20s, and I would say the people over on the Secret side, I would say maybe were in mid-30s or a little bit older. Breathless and Secrets are right next to each other. And so if you are staying at Breathless, you can visit Secrets. If you're staying at Secrets, you can't visit Breathless. I believe there's a price difference of at least $1,000 between the two when we looked. That's, I feel like, was the synopsis. Now, of course, the prices can go up and down with the seasons, but my understanding is there's about $1,000 so difference. Secrets is an older hotel, and that Breathless is the newer hotel. I'm assuming that's probably why the price is maybe a little bit steeper over here compared to over there. I will say this, on the Breathless side, there's less people. I would say that the Breathless beach is probably 1/10 of the beach that Secrets has. Now, of course, you can go on both sides, but to kind of put that in perspective, you know, you're probably talking maybe 200 feet of beach on the Breathless side, and then on the other side, obviously 10 times that amount because there's just more people over there. So when you go over to the Secret side, you're gonna have a longer wait for food and drinks. On the Breathless side, it's gonna be relatively quicker to get food or drink. Something that I've noticed that there's lines over there, over here, there's no lines. Take all that with a grain of salt. Me personally, next time I come, I would like to stay at Secrets just to see what the difference is. Obviously, you'd be saving some money, and then you could use that money to do more adventures outside of the resort, which might be your cup of tea. You might like, hey, I'll save the $1,000 or $1,500. And speaking about adventures outside the park, let's just jump into that. There's tons of things to do outside the resort. You can also stay at the resort 24/7, don't have to leave, and have a good time. If you do want to visit Jamaica and kind of see what Jamaica's about, you're gonna have to get outside the resort and see that. We did that for a couple nights. It's a great time, no issues, everyone's cool. Most people don't even really care, to be honest with you. Now, of course, they can tell you're American. Didn't have any issues. Now, one thing that we can discuss is getting change. Revenue source here is tourism, but there's no way for me to exchange my bigger US dollars for smaller US dollars. And that's not really easily done here. So I would definitely suggest bring some tipping money. Go to the bank before you come here, bring you $300 or so in ones, and if you tip bigger than that, then 3,000 in 20s, or go up from there. But that's the point I'm trying to make. Better way of saying is smaller denominations for tips. Do you have any like security issues here or safety concerns in a sense of like feeling like I was gonna get mugged? Just be cautious of your surroundings. Put yourself in a good situation, and you'll be okay. So one more thing now I think about events. My wife wanted to ride the horses, she wanted to do the zip lining, she wanted to do the rafting. And so the place that we went to, the Chupa place, they have all of that there, but it's only 20 minutes from Breathless, which is awesome. If I was going to do this trip all over again, knowing what I know, I would sign up and I would book those events day one. Before you do anything, get your COVID test set up because right now it's 24 hours before turning into the United States. Coming here is 3 days. So get that set up so that's squared away. I also would there's like the VIP airport experience where basically they get you through customs quicker. When we got there, ours was the only plane there. I'll drop the link above me now. I can't remember, wife booked it, of course. Shout out to the wife. For us, it wasn't bad. Like you could have been in normal customs and it would have been relatively the same speed. However, when Rose got here with their old lady, they had like tons of planes, and so like their experience was completely different than mine. I think it's $100 to book it if you're coming in, and then $30 if you're booking when you're departing. One of the things someone was mentioning was the mosquitoes here. I'll be honest with you, the mosquitoes at home, Arkansas, are worse, and I've had a lot worse in Arkansas before. All right, guys, we're gonna end this video. Hope you guys found it informative. Anyway, that's just another day hanging out with your boy PA. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.